He might seem like just an old tailor, but deep down this man was a stone-cold killer. Bent on revenge, he was playing dumb, pretending to be harmless. Ever since the brutal murder of his wife and daughter, he had vanished, taking on a new identity as a simple tailor. His exceptional skills with a needle and thread earned him a reputation far and wide. Even the local mob boss was a regular customer. One night, just as he was closing up shop, there was a sharp knock at the door. He opened it to find two familiar, unwelcome faces, the mob boss's son and the gang's second in command. It was obvious this late-night visit wasn't about getting a suit fitted. There had just been a vicious gang shootout, and the boss's son had taken a bullet straight to the gut. He was bleeding out fast. Worse yet, sirens wailed in the distance. The cops were closing in. The tailor naturally wanted no part of this mess, but the second in command shoved his way in, leaving no room for argument. "Fix him up now," he ordered, pointing at the bleeding young man. The tailor never imagined his skill set would extend to emergency back alley surgery, but the night's surprises were just getting started. Before it was over, more figures would barge through his door. Gangsters, bosses, thugs, maybe even a mysterious stranger. On this chaotic, blizzard-swept night, the tailor would have to summon every ounce of skill he possessed, not just with sewing, to somehow stitch this whole explosive situation together without it blowing up in his face. Let's rewind a bit. To get the lay of the land and understand his enemies, the tailor had meticulously crafted his cover, infiltrating the mob boss's inner circle. He quickly sized up the boss's son, an arrogant, spoiled fool. There was also intense bad blood between the son and the second in command. They openly despised each other. On top of that, the boss was currently locked in a bloody turf war with a rival named Dan. And to make things even more volatile, word had just come down that there was a mole, a traitor, somewhere within the organization. The tailor knew instantly. The moment he'd been waiting for, the perfect storm for his revenge, had finally arrived. His plan was brutally simple. Pit his enemies against each other. Let the vipers turn on themselves. It sounded easy on paper, but pulling it off required masterful improvisation. One wrong move, one slip-up, and his whole plan, and his life would be finished. Like right now. He'd never stitched human flesh before. His shop wasn't exactly equipped with surgical-grade needles and thread, but with a gun practically shoved in his face, he had no choice. Finding a bottle of harsh liquor, presumably for sterilization, he put on his glasses, his hands betraying a slight tremor. The second in command pinned the unconscious son down as the tailor began the grim, difficult work of sewing the wound closed. He worked meticulously, focusing despite the chaos. By the time he finished, the boss's son was completely out. The tailor quickly checked his breathing. A wave of relief washed over him. The kid was still alive. Only then did he allow himself a moment before heading to the washroom to clean the blood from his hands. When he came back, the second in command was staring intently at an old cassette tape, lost in thought. He turned to the tailor and laid out two non-negotiable tasks. "First," he said, holding up the tape, "you guard this with your life. If anything happens to it, you're dead." He then gestured to the unconscious son. "Second, you watch this idiot. His old man is on his way. If anything happens to his precious boy before he gets here, you're dead too."